There are moments in life when we feel a quiet yearning, a soft whisper from deep within that tells us there's something more. It's the feeling of a song you've heard only once, lingering in your memory, a melody you know you must learn to play. This isn't just a fleeting wish, it is the heartbeat of your desires, the profound, rhythmic impulse that shapes the very essence of who you are and who you are meant to become. We've all been taught that the law of attraction is a simple formula: think positive, and good things will happen. But what if this understanding is just the surface of a vast, beautiful ocean? What if the true power lies not in the frantic struggle to attract, but in the gentle art of becoming a magnet? This journey is not about demanding the universe to give you what you want. It's about a deep, soulful alignment, a sacred dance between your inner world and the external reality you wish to create. It's about revealing a series of hidden truths, of forgotten wisdom that resides not in complicated rituals, but in the simple, elegant laws of nature itself. We will venture beyond the surface-level advice and into the rich, fertile ground of human psychology, behavior, and emotion. We will explore how your deepest beliefs, your quietest emotions, and your most authentic self are the true architects of your reality. Throughout this series, we will peel back the layers of misconception to reveal 18 hidden laws, each one a key to unlocking a more profound, joyful, and successful life. Each part will not be a lecture, but a story, a gentle journey into a new way of seeing yourself and the world around you. We will begin to understand that true attraction is not a force you exert, but a state of being you cultivate. It is a process of internal alchemy, transforming your fears into courage, your doubts into faith, and your aspirations into your reality. Prepare to shift from a mindset of lack and striving to one of abundance and grace. Get ready to discover that the greatest masterpiece you will ever create is the symphony of your own life, composed not with grand gestures, but with the quiet, consistent melody of your inner world. This is where the magic begins. Imagine a single, unassuming seed in the palm of your hand. It holds within it the entire blueprint of a towering oak tree, a masterpiece of nature waiting to be born. But that seed, with all its potential, cannot grow suspended in the air. It needs the soil. The soil is not just a place to be. It is an active participant in its journey. The soil offers nutrients, moisture, and a protective embrace, becoming the very foundation from which the tree will one day reach for the sky. It is the silent, essential partner in the miracle of life. This simple, profound relationship between the seed and the soil holds one of the most powerful and often overlooked truths about the law of attraction. The soil, in its quiet power, is a complex ecosystem. It's rich with a tapestry of life microorganisms, minerals, and organic matter all working together in a harmonious dance. If the soil is barren, compacted, or poisoned, the seed, no matter how perfect its potential, will struggle, if not fail entirely. It may sprout a weak, sickly sapling, but it will never become the magnificent tree it was born to be. The quality of the soil dictates the quality of the harvest. This isn't a judgment, it's a fundamental law of nature. The seed is the potential, but the soil is the reality, the canvas upon which that potential is painted. It is the unwavering truth that the external world can only reflect the internal conditions of its source. Now, let's turn this lens inward. and apply it to our own lives. We often treat our desires, our dreams for a better job, a loving relationship, or greater success like a seed we've simply tossed into the wind, hoping it will land somewhere fertile. We focus all our energy on the seed itself, the what we want. We write down our goals. We visualize. We repeat affirmations. But we forget the soil. The soil is our inner world. It's the landscape of our mind, the ecosystem of our emotions, and the fertile ground of our deeply held beliefs. Our subconscious is the most powerful soil of all. If this inner soil is filled with doubt, fear, and a pervasive sense of unworthiness, how can the seed of a successful new career or a fulfilling partnership ever take root? We wonder why our dreams aren't manifesting, completely unaware that we are planting them in barren, rocky ground. We are the architects of our inner landscape, yet we often let it fall into disrepair, only to be surprised when it yields no harvest. The transformative revelation here is that your greatest work in attracting what you desire isn't about frantically chasing your goals in the external world. It's about becoming the gardener of your own soul. The most powerful act you can take is to tend to your inner soil. This means actively pulling the weeds of self-doubt and negativity. It means nourishing your mind with thoughts of self-worth and capability. It means cultivating an emotional environment of gratitude and hope, even when the external world doesn't yet reflect it. When you feel a seed of desire taking root in your heart, a desire for a new chapter, a new love, a new version of yourself, don't just focus on the seed, focus on the soil. Ask yourself, is my inner world a welcoming, nurturing place for this desire to grow? When you commit to this work, you are not just hoping for a better future. You are actively creating the conditions for it to flourish. You are shifting from a passive observer to an active co-creator, ensuring that when the seed is finally ready to sprout, it will have the strength and foundation to become everything it was ever meant to be. Imagine a majestic redwood tree, its immense canopy reaching towards the heavens, a testament to time and resilience. What you see above the ground, the colossal trunk, the sprawling branches, the vibrant needles is only half the story. The true secret to its stability lies hidden beneath the surface. An intricate, sprawling network of roots, far wider than the tree is tall, anchors it against the fiercest storms. These roots are not just passive supports. They are the lifeline, tirelessly drawing up water and nutrients, making the very existence of the towering tree possible. This unseen foundation is a powerful metaphor for our own lives, and it holds a profound secret about the law of attraction that most people never uncover. We spend so much of our time tending to the visible parts of our lives. We focus on our career, our relationships, our physical appearance, the trunk and branches that everyone can see. We become frustrated when the visible results don't match our efforts, much like a gardener who only waters the leaves of a plant while ignoring the roots. We pour conscious energy into what we want, but we neglect the deeper, hidden beliefs that are truly running the show. These beliefs are our unseen roots. They are the deeply embedded stories, convictions, and assumptions about ourselves and the world that we have carried since childhood. They operate silently, in the background, dictating our actions, influencing our emotions, and ultimately shaping the reality we experience. This is where the struggle often begins. You might consciously desire a life of abundance, a thriving business, or a loving partnership. You might repeat affirmations and visualize success with all your might. This is the equivalent of trying to make the leaves of a tree grow simply by wishing for them to be bigger. But if your unseen roots, your subconscious beliefs are whispering a different story, a story of scarcity, unworthiness, or fear of failure, then you are working against yourself. The roots will always win. Your subconscious mind is far more powerful and influential than your conscious thoughts. It's like trying to steer a massive ocean liner with a small canoe paddle. Your conscious efforts are the paddle, but your subconscious beliefs are the powerful, unseen currents that determine the ship's direction. The liberating truth is that you can change the roots. This is the most profound and transformative work you can do. It begins with a gentle excavation, a willingness to look beneath the surface without judgment. Take a moment to observe the recurring patterns in your life. Do you always feel a sense of struggle, even when things are going well? Do you find yourself self-sabotaging, just as success is within your grasp? These are not random events. They are the fruits of your unseen roots. Once you identify these beliefs, you can begin the process of consciously and compassionately rewriting them. You can tend to your roots by practicing self-compassion, by forgiving past hurts, and by consciously replacing old stories with new, empowering ones. Every time you choose to believe in your own worth, every time you act from a place of love instead of fear, you are sending new, life-giving nutrients to your roots. This is the true work of attraction. When your roots are strong, healthy, and aligned with your conscious desires, the magnificent tree of your dreams will grow effortlessly, reaching for the sky not by force, but by the natural, unstoppable power of its foundation. Imagine a still, serene lake on a windless day. When you toss a small stone into its center, the surface doesn't just ripple randomly. A perfect, concentric circle of waves expands outward, each wave a faithful echo of the initial impact. A bigger stone creates a bigger ripple. A gentler toss creates a gentler one. The lake responds not to the shape or color of the stone, but to the energy of its entry. The surface of the water perfectly mirrors the vibration of the object that disturbed its stillness. This is the essence of the law of the echoing vibration, a hidden truth that reveals the true mechanism behind attraction, one that has far less to do with what you say you want and everything to do with how you feel. We often mistakenly believe that our thoughts alone are the stone we are throwing. We consciously repeat affirmations like, "I am successful," or "I am worthy of love." We mentally picture a new car or a bigger home. These are the stones we are tossing. But the problem is, if the thought is accompanied by an underlying feeling of doubt, scarcity, or unworthiness, the emotion becomes the true vibration. The feeling is the force of the toss, the energy behind the stone. You might be saying, "I am successful." But if the deeper echoing vibration within you is, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never get there," the universe, like the lake, responds not to the words, but to the truer, more powerful vibration of your emotional state. It mirrors your feeling, not your thought. It is a perfect, unwavering echo. This is the great paradox of so many who try to manifest their desires. They are using their conscious mind to try and override their emotional core. They are trying to throw a stone of "I am abundant," while their heart is resonating with the vibration of "I am in lack." The universe doesn't hear your spoken words. It feels your frequency. It's like trying to tune into a radio station by yelling its name at the radio. The radio doesn't care what you're yelling. It responds only to the dial, to the specific frequency you are tuned into. Your emotional state is the dial. Your feelings of peace, gratitude, joy, and hope are high-frequency vibrations that naturally attract similar high-frequency experiences. Conversely, feelings of anxiety, jealousy, and fear are low-frequency vibrations that attract circumstances that match that emotional landscape. The transformative power of this law lies in shifting your focus from what you're thinking to how you're feeling. Instead of struggling to force positive thoughts, your work becomes about gently and compassionately cultivating a positive emotional state. This isn't about ignoring negative emotions. It's about acknowledging them and then consciously choosing to pivot towards a feeling that serves you better. This could be as simple as finding one thing in your day to be genuinely grateful for, listening to music that lifts your spirit, or spending time in nature to feel a sense of peace. When you make the deliberate choice to feel good, not because of what you've received, but simply for the sake of feeling good, you begin to change your core vibration. You are tuning your internal radio to a new station, and as you do, the universe begins to echo this new frequency back to you, drawing in people, opportunities, and circumstances that are in perfect harmony with the beautiful, resonant vibration you're now creating from within. Consider a mighty river, carving its path through the landscape for millennia. It does not force its way forward with a violent, aggressive push. Instead, it moves with an effortless, gentle current. Following the path of least resistance, it flows around boulders, over fallen logs, and through narrow gorges. Its power derived not from struggle, but from an unwavering, patient surrender to its own nature. The river's destination is certain, not because it fights every obstacle, but because it trusts its own inherent flow. This powerful image of nature's effortless movement reveals another profound secret of attraction, the law of the gentle current. It is the understanding that resistance and forcing are the greatest obstacles to your desires, while surrender and trust are the fastest paths to them. In our human experience, we are taught the exact opposite. We are conditioned to believe that success comes from struggle, from pushing through, from sheer willpower and force. We see our desires, a new job, a loving partner, a creative project, as something we must wrestle into existence. We grip our goals so tightly, fueled by fear that they will slip away, that we actually choke the life out of them. We become so fixated on the how and the when that we create a constant state of internal friction and resistance. This is like trying to make the river flow uphill. The more we strain, the more we try to control every detail, the more we create a dam in our own lives, blocking the very flow of good that we are trying to attract. The universe, in its wisdom, responds to this resistance by providing more things to resist. It mirrors our internal struggle back to us, creating a cycle of frustration and burnout. The liberating truth of the gentle current is that you don't need to force the river. You just need to get in it. Your role is not to micromanage the universe, but to align yourself with the natural, creative flow of life. This requires a profound shift from a mindset of, I must make this happen, to I will allow this to happen. This doesn't mean becoming passive or inactive. A river still moves with incredible power and purpose, but it does so without strain. Your action should feel inspired and aligned, not forced and desperate. It means doing the inner work of cultivating a state of peace and trust, so that when an opportunity presents itself, you can respond with grace and clarity, rather than anxiety and haste. It means letting go of the need for a specific timeline and trusting that your desires are already on their way, guided by a wisdom far greater than your own. The benefit of embracing this law is an end to the exhausting cycle of struggle. When you release the need to control every outcome, you create a space for synchronicity and serendipity to enter your life. You stop swimming against the current and begin to glide with it. You find that the right people, the right ideas, and the right opportunities appear seemingly out of nowhere, precisely when you need them. Your journey becomes less about fighting to get somewhere and more about enjoying the ride. You learn to listen to the quiet nudges of your intuition, which are your personal compass, guiding you along your unique path. By letting go of the oars and trusting the current, you discover a profound sense of ease and flow, realizing that the most powerful force in the universe is not your struggle, but your unwavering, gentle surrender to the journey itself. Look at a still, crystalline lake on a perfectly clear day. What you see on its surface is not just water, but a flawless reflection of the sky, the mountains, and the trees that surround it. The lake does not judge what it reflects. It simply mirrors back whatever is placed before it. It cannot show you a clear blue sky if the sky is cloudy, nor can it reflect a peaceful forest if there is chaos on its shores. Its reality is a perfect, unwavering echo of the world above and around it. This beautiful and simple truth is one of the most fundamental and profound secrets of the law of attraction the world around you. Your external reality is nothing more than a mirroring lake, perfectly reflecting your internal state. We often make the mistake of believing our external circumstances are the cause of our internal feelings. We think, I will be happy when I get the promotion, or I will feel worthy when someone loves me. This mindset positions us as victims of our circumstances, waiting for the world to change before we can feel good. We spend our lives frantically trying to change the reflection in the lake, polishing the surface, trying to paint a new sky onto the water, all while the original source of the reflection remains unchanged. We try to force our environment to be something it isn't, and we become exhausted and frustrated when it stubbornly refuses to comply. We are fighting the reflection, completely unaware that the real work is happening behind us, in the landscape of our own mind and heart. The liberating truth of the mirroring lake is that your outer world is a perfect feedback system, a compassionate teacher showing you what you hold to be true on the inside. If you consistently find yourself in relationships where you feel unappreciated, the lake is mirroring a belief you hold about your own lack of worth. If you are struggling to attract financial abundance, the lake is showing you a deep-seated fear of scarcity. The circumstances of your life are not happening to you. They are happening for you. As a profound and gentle lesson, they are a mirror held up so you can see the unseen beliefs and emotions that are actively shaping your reality. This isn't a form of self-blame. It's an empowering revelation. You are not a victim of your reflection. You are the source of it. The benefit of embracing this law is that it shifts your entire focus from the external struggle to the internal transformation. You stop trying to manipulate the world and start working on yourself. Instead of trying to force a new job to appear, you ask yourself, What part of me needs to believe in my own capability and value? Instead of seeking validation from others, you ask, what work do I need to do to feel worthy and complete within myself? When you commit to this internal work, healing old wounds, cultivating self-love, and nurturing positive beliefs, you don't have to worry about the reflection. As you change the landscape behind you, the mirror of the lake effortlessly and perfectly reflects that new reality. You will begin to notice that the world around you magically seems to shift. People are kinder, opportunities appear out of nowhere, and the struggle dissolves into a gentle flow. You realize that you were never meant to fight the reflection, but simply to become the beautiful, whole, and peaceful source from which a new, more vibrant world could be mirrored back to you. A gardener plants a tiny seed, carefully placing it in the earth. They water it, ensure it gets enough sunlight, and protect it from harm. But after they have done their part, they do not dig up the seed every day to check on its progress. They don't fret and worry that it hasn't sprouted yet. The gardener understands a fundamental truth of nature: growth happens in its own time and in its own way. They trust the unseen process happening beneath the soil, knowing that if they have provided the right conditions, the seed will inevitably find its way to the light. The gardener's most powerful tool isn't a shovel or a watering can. It is unwavering patience and trust. This is the essence of the law of the gardener's patience. A hidden law of attraction that promises that consistent, patient action in the present is far more powerful than desperate striving for a future outcome. We, as humans, are often terrible gardeners of our own lives. We plant a seed, a goal, a dream, a new intention, and then we immediately become impatient. We want to see results instantly. We write down our goals on Monday and wonder why they haven't manifested by Friday. We become anxious, frustrated, and start digging up the seed by questioning our actions, second-guessing our intuition, and desperately changing our approach. This frantic energy sends a powerful message of lack and distrust to the universe. It says, I don't believe this is going to work, and I don't trust the process. This internal friction not only exhausts us, but also actively works against the very thing we are trying to create. True growth, like the seed, needs time to germinate in the stillness and darkness before it can break through the surface. The secret revealed by the gardener's patience is that your role is not to control the timeline of your desires, but to consistently and lovingly tend to the present moment. It's about focusing on the small, daily acts of faith and effort without being attached to the outcome. This could be as simple as writing one page of your book today, sending one resume, or performing one act of kindness without any expectation of a reward. Each of these small actions is like a drop of water you're giving to the seed. It is the steady, gentle rhythm of consistency that builds momentum, not the sporadic, forceful bursts of effort fueled by anxiety. When you focus on these small acts of faith, you are shifting your mindset from one of scarcity and impatience to one of abundance and trust. You are proving to yourself and the universe that you believe in the process. The benefit of embracing this mindset is a profound sense of peace and a quiet confidence that replaces the constant anxiety of striving. You learn to enjoy the journey, finding joy in the act of planting and watering itself, rather than only in the moment of harvest. You begin to understand that the time it takes for a dream to manifest is not a punishment, but a necessary part of the process. A period for you to grow and prepare for the reality you are calling in. By practicing the law of the gardener's patience, you are giving your dreams the time and space they need to flourish. And in doing so, you are allowing yourself to blossom right alongside them. You realize that the greatest rewards often come not to those who force the pace, but to those who trust in the gentle, powerful, and mysterious rhythm of growth. In the heart of spring, a new leaf emerges from its bud. It doesn't burst forth as a fully formed, rigid shape. Instead, it unfurls slowly and gracefully, each delicate fold opening at its own pace. A perfect spiral, unfolding in response to the sun's warmth and the earth's rhythm. No two leaves on the same tree unfurl in the exact same way or at the exact same moment. Each follows its own unique internal blueprint, its own perfect timing. A testament to the wisdom that true growth is not a race but a distinct and individual process. This is the profound truth of the law of the unfurling leaf, a secret that tells us to trust our unique path and timing, rather than desperately comparing our journey to that of others. In the human world, we are constantly measuring our own unfurling against the unfurling of someone else. We see a friend get a promotion, a colleague launch a successful business, or an acquaintance find their perfect partner, and a quiet panic sets in. We think, why hasn't that happened for me yet? Or, I must be doing something wrong. We try to force our own process, to mimic someone else's trajectory, to rip open our own buds before they are ready. This frantic comparison and striving creates a deep sense of inadequacy and impatience. It's like trying to make a maple leaf unfurl like an oak leaf. It's impossible and only leads to frustration. This external focus on what others are doing blinds us to the unique beauty and perfection of our own journey. We miss the subtle signs and unique opportunities that are meant specifically for us because we are too busy looking at someone else's garden. The liberating truth of the unfurling leaf is that your journey is sacred and singular. There is no one-size-fits-all timeline for success, love, or personal growth. Your path is a unique tapestry woven from your experiences, your lessons, and your own internal timing. The pace at which your life unfolds is not a sign of your worthiness or lack thereof. It is simply the perfect rhythm for your own evolution. The key is to shift your focus from external comparison to internal observation. Instead of asking, why am I not there yet? Ask, what am I learning right now? What is this specific season of my life preparing me for? This internal focus allows you to honor your own process and find peace in the present moment, trusting that you are exactly where you need to be. The profound benefit of embracing this law is that it frees you from the exhausting cycle of comparison and self-judgment. When you stop trying to mimic others, you create the space to discover your own unique gifts and strengths. You realize that your past struggles were not setbacks, but essential nutrients. Just as the winter's silence is essential for spring's new growth. When you learn to trust your own pace, you stop forcing and start flowing. You begin to appreciate the quiet, beautiful unfolding of your own life, understanding that every twist and turn, every delay, and every acceleration is a perfect and necessary part of your own masterpiece. By honoring the law of the unfurling leaf, you discover that your greatest success is not in arriving at a destination at a certain time, but in embracing the beauty and wisdom of your own unique, magnificent journey. Imagine a beautiful, intricate teacup. It holds within it the remnants of yesterday's brew, old tea leaves, and a faint, stale aroma. Now, imagine trying to pour fresh, new tea into this cup. The new tea will mix with the old, becoming muddled and bitter. The cup can only truly receive the new, fresh liquid when it has been emptied, rinsed clean, and made ready to receive. The old must be let go to make space for the new. This simple, elegant principle is a profound and often overlooked truth about attraction, the law of the empty cup. It teaches us that to receive the things we truly desire, we must first be willing to let go of what no longer serves us. In our lives, we often cling to the past with a fierce grip. We hold on to old beliefs that tell us we aren't good enough, old resentments that poison our hearts, and old expectations that no longer align with who we are becoming. We fill our cups with the stale tea of past failures, perceived injustices, and limiting mindsets. Then, we wonder why the fresh new experiences we are trying to attract a new career opportunity, a healthy relationship, a sense of inner peace never seem to taste quite right. We are trying to pour a future of abundance into a vessel that is already full of a past of lack. This clinging to the old is a form of resistance, a subconscious signal that we are not truly ready to let go and move forward. We are signaling to the universe that our cup is full, and therefore, there is no space for anything new to enter. The liberating truth of the empty cup is that letting go is not an act of loss. It is an act of creation. It is a powerful, intentional choice to make space. This doesn't mean you must erase your past or pretend it never happened. It means you must release the emotional charge, the narrative, and the identity you've built around it. It means letting go of the need to be right, the need to hold a grudge, or the need to cling to a version of yourself that is no longer serving you. This act of releasing creates a vacuum, and as nature abhors a vacuum, the universe rushes in to fill that space with something new and more aligned with your truest self. The benefit of embracing this law is a profound sense of lightness and freedom. When you empty your cup, you are no longer burdened by the weight of the past. You create an open, receptive state of being. You begin to see new possibilities and opportunities that were always there but were previously obscured by the clutter of your mind. By releasing old resentments, you open your heart to new connections. By letting go of limiting beliefs, you make space for a newfound confidence to take root. The practice of the empty cup is an ongoing journey of mindful release, a daily choice to let go of what no longer serves your highest good. It is in this beautiful, empty space that the freshest, most vibrant tea of life can finally be poured, and you can savor the pure, unadulterated flavor of a new beginning. Imagine a single, tiny compass needle. Without any external power source, it always finds its way back to true north. It is not pulled by 100 different directions. It is guided by one clear, unwavering force. This is not a struggle for the needle. It is its very nature, its purpose. It is a powerful reminder that when a force is singular and clear, it becomes a magnet. This natural law is the essence of the law of the magnetic north, a hidden truth that reveals how a clear, unwavering purpose acts as a powerful attractor, guiding you and the world around you towards your truest desires. We, as humans, often function like a compass with a broken needle. We are pulled in 100 different directions by a multitude of goals, distractions, and conflicting desires. One day we want to start a business. The next day we want to travel the world. The day after that we want to retreat into a simple life. We scatter our energy, our focus, and our intention. This creates a state of internal confusion and a weak, diluted signal. The universe, in turn, cannot respond clearly to a confused vibration. It sends us a jumble of opportunities, none of which truly fulfill us, because our inner compass is constantly spinning, unable to lock onto its true north. We get a little bit of everything, but not enough of anything to create true momentum or lasting success. The liberating truth of the magnetic north is that your greatest power lies in clarity and singularity of purpose. True attraction isn't about having a long list of things you want. It's about having one clear, compelling vision for who you are and what you are here to create. This isn't about your job title or your financial status, but about the deeper why behind it all. Why do you want to create a business? What does it serve? What is the core emotion you want to feel and share with the world? When you discover this deeper purpose, it acts as your personal magnetic north. It becomes the unwavering force that guides your decisions, informs your actions, and aligns your energy. When you are operating from this place of clear purpose, your vibration becomes powerful and unmistakable. The benefit of embracing this law is that it simplifies your life and amplifies your results. When your purpose is your true north, all your actions become more meaningful. You no longer have to force yourself to do things. You are pulled forward by an intrinsic motivation. The right opportunities, people, and resources seem to appear effortlessly because your clear signal is naturally attracting them. People are drawn to your passion and clarity, wanting to be a part of your mission. Your life stops feeling like a chaotic race and begins to feel like a powerful, purposeful journey. By taking the time to find and align with your own magnetic north, you stop being a wandering, directionless traveler and become a powerful, intentional creator, guided by the unwavering force of your own truest purpose. Consider the sun. It doesn't discriminate. It pours its warmth and light onto every living thing, the grandest mountain, the humblest flower, the vast ocean, and the parched desert. It radiates its essence simply because that is its nature. It does not wait for something to be worthy of its light. It gives it freely and abundantly. This continuous, unconditional act of giving creates life and growth everywhere it touches, and in doing so, it naturally draws all life to it. This powerful, undeniable truth is the law of the sun's embrace, a hidden key to attraction that reveals how radiating warmth, kindness, and gratitude is the most magnetic force you can possess. In our human interactions, we often operate from a place of scarcity. We hold back our compliments, fearing they diminish our own light. We are stingy with our kindness, believing we have a finite amount to give. We wait for others to be kind to us first, operating from a defensive, conditional state. This mindset of conservation and self-protection creates a closed-off energy, a coldness that repels rather than attracts. We become like a closed shutter on a window, wondering why no light is coming in, completely unaware that we are the ones blocking the flow. Our desire for connection and love remains unfulfilled because the vibration we are sending out is one of withholding, not of giving. The liberating truth of the sun's embrace is that your inner light, your capacity for kindness, empathy, and gratitude is not a finite resource. It is an infinite wellspring, The more you give it away, the more it expands within you. When you choose to radiate warmth, you become a magnet for others. This isn't about being a people pleaser or giving with an expectation of return. That is a transaction, not an embrace. The sun gives its light without a contract. True radiance is an internal choice, a state of being you cultivate. It's a genuine smile for a stranger, a heartfelt thank you, an authentic compliment. These small, unconditional acts are powerful ripples that change not just the day of the recipient, but your own inner landscape. The benefit of embracing this law is a profound shift in your relationships and your overall experience of the world. You stop waiting for others to fill you up and start filling yourself up by giving. You realize that the love and connection you seek are not things to be found, but things to be generated from within you. When you radiate warmth, you create an energetic field around you that is impossible to ignore. People are drawn to your light because it makes them feel safe, seen, and valued. Opportunities find you because your energy is open and inviting. You discover that the most powerful way to attract the good you desire is to first become the source of that good. By choosing to shine your light unconditionally, you become an irresistible force, not by demanding anything from the world, but by graciously and generously giving all of yourself to it. Picture a spider meticulously spinning its web. Each thread, no matter how delicate, is connected to another. A tiny vibration on one strand, caused by a single dewdrop or a passing breeze, sends a ripple across the entire structure. The web is a testament to perfect interdependence, a system where one small action has a direct and immediate effect on the whole. This exquisite design reveals a profound secret of attraction, the law of the weaving web. It is the truth that every single action you take, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, creates a ripple effect, connecting you to a vast network of possibilities that you cannot consciously see or control. We are often trapped in a linear way of thinking. We believe that for a desired outcome to happen, a specific sequence of events must unfold. We think, if I want to get that job, I must first send a resume, then get an interview, and then get the offer. We are so focused on this rigid, step-by-step process that we miss the magic of the weaving web. We forget that the person who reads our resume might have a friend who is looking for a completely different opportunity that is actually a better fit for us. The small act of sending the resume, while seemingly a failure on its primary mission, could be the tiny vibration that leads to an entirely different, more perfect outcome down the line. We dismiss these small, seemingly unrelated events as coincidence, but they are, in fact, the hidden blessings of the weaving web. The liberating truth of this law is that no act of faith, kindness, or effort is ever wasted. Every time you make a positive choice, you are not just taking a single step. You are spinning a new thread in your personal web. The act of learning a new skill, even if it doesn't immediately lead to a new job, is a thread that strengthens your foundation and connects you to new ideas. The act of showing up for a friend in need is a thread that builds trust and creates a ripple of kindness that will inevitably return to you in unexpected ways. You don't need to know how these threads will connect or what they will catch. Your only job is to spin them with intention, authenticity, and hope. The benefit of embracing this law is that it frees you from the need for a perfect, linear plan. It allows you to trust that your small, consistent, and positive actions are creating a magnificent and intricate tapestry of blessings behind the scenes. You stop worrying about whether a specific action will work and start acting from a place of inspired integrity. You realize that a seemingly insignificant conversation could be the start of your next great collaboration. A moment of kindness could be the foundation for a lifelong friendship. By trusting in the law of the weaving web, you let go of the need for control and find peace in the simple, powerful act of showing up and contributing to the world, knowing that the universe is weaving an incredible and unforeseen reality on your behalf. In the heart of winter, the world appears to be asleep. The trees are bare, the earth is frozen, and a profound stillness blankets the land. But beneath this surface of inactivity, a miracle is happening. The seeds lie dormant, gathering strength. The roots are going deeper, drawing on reserves of energy. The forest is not dying. It is in a period of profound rest and preparation. It is the necessary silence before the burst of life in spring. This natural cycle reveals a powerful, counterintuitive truth about attraction, the law of the winter's silence. It is the understanding that periods of rest, reflection, and stillness are not obstacles to your success, but the essential foundation for your greatest growth. Our modern world is terrified of stillness. We equate constant motion with progress, and we see rest as a sign of laziness or failure. We fill every moment with noise, whether it's a podcast, a video, a to-do list, or a social media feed. We believe that if we are not actively doing something to chase our goals, we are falling behind. This frantic, ceaseless activity is like trying to force a plant to grow in a perpetual summer. There is no time for the roots to deepen, no time for the soil to replenish, and no time for the wisdom of the earth to do its quiet work. We burn ourselves out, exhaust our creative energy, and wonder why our once vibrant desires feel so lackluster. We are ignoring the fundamental law of nature that tells us growth requires a season of rest. The liberating truth of the winter's silence is that your greatest work is often done in the quiet moments when you are doing nothing. This is not idleness, it is intentional stillness. It is the practice of stepping away from the noise to listen to the quiet wisdom of your own intuition. It is the time to integrate the lessons you have learned, to heal from past struggles, and to allow your desires to mature and solidify in your subconscious mind. These moments of stillness are where new ideas are born, where clarity emerges from confusion, and where your inner compass recalibrates. A winter of silence allows you to connect to the source of your creativity and passion, which can only be heard when the external world is muted. The profound benefit of embracing this law is an end to the exhausting pressure of constant performance. When you honor the need for rest, you are not just recharging your batteries, you are planting the seeds for your next phase of growth. You discover that a day of quiet reflection can be more productive than a week of frantic, uninspired activity. By giving yourself permission to be still, you create a reservoir of strength and creativity that you can draw upon when the season of active growth returns. You begin to trust that the universe is working on your behalf, even when you are not actively pushing. By embracing the law of the winter's silence, you stop fighting against the natural rhythms of life and begin to flow with them. Understanding that true power is found not in ceaseless motion, but in the profound peace of a quiet and well-tended soul. A river's power is not just in the water that flows through it, but in the banks and riverbed that contain and guide it. The shape of the riverbed determines the direction, speed, and force of the water. If the banks are strong and defined, the water carves a powerful, purposeful path. If the banks are weak, crumbling, or non-existent, the water spreads out into a shallow, aimless marsh. The riverbed is the container that gives the water's potential, its form, and direction. This profound truth from nature reveals a secret of attraction that most people ignore: the law of the riverbed's shape. It teaches us that your personal boundaries and sense of self-worth are the riverbed that shapes the quality and direction of the experiences and people that flow into your life. We often focus on attracting more money, more opportunities, more people, without ever considering the container we are attracting them into. We believe that if we just had more, our problems would be solved. But if our inner riverbed is weak, undefined, and full of emotional holes, the more we attract will simply become a shallow, chaotic mess. If your boundaries are weak, you will attract people who disrespect them. If your sense of self-worth is low, you will attract opportunities and relationships that reflect that lack of value. We wonder why we keep attracting the same draining relationships or unfulfilling jobs, completely unaware that our own internal riverbed is creating a channel for exactly those experiences. We are attracting what we are, not what we want. The liberating truth of the riverbed's shape is that you have the power to consciously shape your own riverbed. Your boundaries are not walls to keep others out. They are the banks that protect your energy and guide your life force. Your self-worth is not a passive concept. It is the solid ground of your riverbed that determines how deep and powerful your current can be. The work here is not about building an impenetrable fortress, but about creating a strong, healthy container for the good you wish to attract. This means consciously setting boundaries, learning to say no to things that drain you, and yes to things that nourish you. It means doing the quiet, deep work of building your self-worth so that you truly believe you deserve the love, success, and respect you are seeking. The profound benefit of embracing this law is that it shifts your focus from trying to change external people and circumstances to strengthening your internal foundation. When your riverbed is strong and healthy, you become a powerful, intentional force. You stop attracting shallow, aimless experiences and begin to attract the deep, meaningful connections and opportunities that match your self-worth. You no longer have to struggle to push things away because your defined boundaries naturally filter out what is not in alignment with you. By consciously shaping the container of your life, you allow the powerful current of your desires to flow with purpose, direction, and clarity, creating a life that is not just abundant, but also deeply fulfilling and respectful of your truest self. In nature, a tree doesn't hold on to its fruit. It offers it freely, a gift to the world. It provides shelter, shade, and nourishment to countless beings without expectation of a return. And in this act of giving, it ensures its own survival. The seeds from its fruit are carried by the wind and animals, planting new trees and sustaining a vast ecosystem. By giving away its abundance, the tree becomes a cornerstone of life, and in turn, the earth nourishes its roots and the sun provides its light. This is the profound paradox of abundance. The more you give, the more you receive. This is the essence of the law of the giver's harvest. a hidden truth that reveals how true prosperity is a cycle of giving, not a hoard of taking. Our human tendency, when we feel a sense of lack, is to clutch and hold on. We believe that we must accumulate and protect our resources, our money, our time, our energy out of a fear that we will run out. We operate from a scarcity mindset, thinking that a win for someone else is a loss for us. This fear-based behavior closes us off from the natural flow of abundance. When we are stingy with our compliments, our help, or our resources, we are sending a powerful signal to the universe that there is not enough. This closed fist energy repels the very abundance we are trying to attract. The universe, like the world around the tree, mirrors our action back to us. If we are not willing to give, we will not be positioned to receive. The liberating truth of the giver's harvest is that giving is the fastest and most direct way to prove to yourself and the universe that you are already abundant. You don't have to wait until you have $1 million to be generous. You can be generous with your attention, your kindness, your time, and your unique skills right now, in this very moment. When you give from a place of genuine abundance, not a place of obligation or expectation, you are opening the floodgates. You are declaring that you have more than enough to share. This act of giving changes your internal vibration from "I am in lack" to "I am abundant." And the universe responds by rushing to fill that declaration with more opportunities to give and, in turn, to receive. The profound benefit of embracing this law is that it turns the struggle for more into a joyful, effortless flow. You stop chasing and start attracting. You discover that the greatest returns in life are often unexpected. A small act of giving your time to mentor someone could lead to an incredible collaboration. A generous compliment could lead to a lasting friendship. The harvest doesn't always come from the same field in which you planted the seed. By making giving a core part of your life, you are not just impacting others. You are actively engaging in the natural cycle of prosperity. You become a conduit for good, a channel through which abundance can flow. And in this state of continuous giving, you discover that the well of your own blessings becomes truly bottomless. Imagine standing on a vast open field, looking at the horizon. The horizon is not a place you can ever physically reach. It is a continuously moving line, always just out of reach. Yet, it serves an absolutely critical purpose. It gives you a direction to walk in. It pulls you forward, inspiring you to take one step and then another. Without the horizon, you would be left to wander aimlessly in circles. This beautiful paradox is the essence of the law of the horizon's beckoning, a hidden truth that reveals how a compelling, inspiring vision for your future, even if it feels distant, is the single most powerful attractor you can possess. We often get so bogged down in the present that we lose sight of our personal horizon. We focus on the daily struggles, the immediate problems, and the small setbacks, until our vision shrinks to a few feet in front of us. We become like a person standing in the middle of a field, paralyzed by the fear of where to step next. We know we want something better, but we haven't given ourselves a compelling, emotional reason to move forward. This lack of a beckoning horizon creates a weak, uninspired energy. We lack the inner momentum, the quiet pull that turns tedious tasks into meaningful steps and frustrating challenges into surmountable obstacles. We're not attracting a compelling future because we haven't truly painted one for ourselves. The liberating truth of the horizon's beckoning is that your vision for the future is not a rigid plan. It is an emotional and spiritual compass. It's not about knowing every single detail of how you will get there. It's about knowing why you want to go there. What does that future feel like? What is the core essence of that success, that relationship, or that creation? The power of this law comes from focusing not on the how, but on the feeling. When you can genuinely connect to the emotion of your desired future, the feeling of peace, the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of belonging, you create a magnetic force that pulls you forward with effortless grace. This emotional connection transforms your vision from a simple wish into an active, living part of your reality. The profound benefit of embracing this law is that it provides a source of inexhaustible motivation and resilience. When you have a clear, compelling horizon beckoning you, small setbacks no longer feel like failures. They are simply part of the journey. You no longer need to be disciplined to take action, because you are being pulled forward by an intrinsic, magnetic force. Your vision becomes a filter through which you make all your decisions, allowing you to say yes to opportunities that align with your horizon and no to distractions that lead you astray. By creating a compelling vision for your future and connecting to the emotion of it, you stop pushing yourself and start being pulled by the incredible, powerful force of what is waiting for you just beyond the next rise. You realize that your greatest success is not just about reaching a destination, but about the joy of walking toward it. A mountain stands not because of its peak, but because of its foundation. The visible, soaring summit that captivates us is only a small part of a massive, unyielding base that extends deep into the earth. It is this hidden, unwavering bedrock of granite and stone that gives the mountain its strength, its resilience, and its ability to withstand the forces of erosion and time. Without this solid foundation, the mountain would simply crumble. This profound natural law reveals a critical secret about attraction that is often forgotten: the law of the mountain's foundation. It is the truth that lasting success and true fulfillment are built upon the unshakable bedrock of integrity and authenticity. In our pursuit of success, we are often tempted to take shortcuts. We might compromise our values, say things we don't mean, or present a persona that is not our true self, all in an effort to get to the peak faster. We see others at the summit, and we try to mimic their journey, even if it means sacrificing on our own internal compass. This is like trying to build a mountain on a foundation of sand. The peak might look impressive for a time, but it is hollow and unstable. A success built on compromise and inauthenticity is a fragile success. It can't withstand the inevitable storms of life, the criticism, the setbacks, and the challenges, because it lacks a solid, internal foundation. We spend all our energy trying to maintain an illusion, and we are left feeling drained, disconnected, and ultimately unfulfilled, no matter how high we climb. The liberating truth of the mountain's foundation is that your integrity and authenticity are not just moral principles. They are your greatest source of power. They are the bedrock of your character, the solid ground upon which you build a life that is not only successful, but also deeply meaningful. Integrity is the consistency between your thoughts, words, and actions. Authenticity is the courage to be your true self, regardless of what others think. When you operate from a place of deep integrity, your decisions are clear and your actions are powerful because they are aligned. You stop questioning yourself and start trusting your own inner compass. You become a person of substance, not just appearance. And this deep, internal strength is what truly attracts lasting respect, meaningful relationships, and genuine opportunities. The profound benefit of embracing this law is that it removes the exhausting burden of pretending and allows you to build a life that is truly yours. When you are authentic, you naturally attract people and situations that are in alignment with your truest self. You stop chasing things that don't fit and start effortlessly drawing in what truly belongs to you. You find a quiet confidence in knowing that your foundation is solid and you can face any challenge with resilience. By making integrity and authenticity your unwavering bedrock, you are not just building a career or a relationship. You are building an unshakable life of purpose and peace. You discover that true attraction is not about becoming someone else to get what you want, but about being so completely and courageously yourself that the universe can't help but deliver what is meant for you. A ship sailing across a vast, empty ocean relies on one thing above all else: its compass. The compass needle points unerringly to true north, regardless of the storm, the fog, or the changing tides. The captain doesn't consult 1,000 different instruments or ask for the opinions of every crew member. They trust the unwavering compass as the ultimate guide. It is this single, consistent point of reference that allows the ship to navigate the chaos and reach its destination. This powerful image is the essence of the law of the unwavering compass, a hidden truth that reveals how your inner knowing, your intuition, is the truest and most reliable guide to your desires. Independent of external validation or noise, we live in a world filled with a cacophony of voices telling us who we should be, what we should want, and how we should get it. Our social media feeds are a constant barrage of other people's highlight reels, expert opinions, and conflicting advice. We spend so much time consulting these external compasses that we completely lose touch with our own inner guidance system. We stop listening to the quiet, subtle nudges of our intuition, the gut feeling that tells us whether a path is right for us. We become like a ship's captain who consults every wave and every bird, and in doing so, loses sight of the one thing that truly matters: the unwavering needle of their own compass. This external dependency creates a state of perpetual doubt and confusion, weakening our ability to attract what truly aligns with our soul. The liberating truth of the unwavering compass is that you are already equipped with everything you need to navigate your life. Your intuition is not a mystical, fleeting sensation. It is a profound and intelligent internal guidance system that is always on. It is the quiet voice that tells you to take a chance on an idea that others might dismiss, to walk away from a relationship that no longer serves you, or to rest when your body needs it most. The work here is not about acquiring more information from the outside world, but about practicing the art of listening within. It is about creating moments of stillness, such as meditation or quiet reflection, where you can tune out the noise and tune in to the subtle wisdom of your own heart. When you practice listening to and trusting your intuition, you strengthen your inner compass, turning it into a powerful, unwavering guide. The profound benefit of embracing this law is an end to the exhausting need for external approval and validation. When you trust your own inner compass, you no longer need to seek permission to follow your dreams. You no longer need others to tell you that you are on the right path, because you feel it to be true within yourself. This self-trust is one of the most attractive forces in the universe. It creates a quiet confidence that draws opportunities and people who are in alignment with your truest self. By honoring your unwavering compass, you stop being a passenger in your own life, tossed about by the whims of others and the storms of external opinion. Instead, you become the confident captain of your own magnificent journey, guided by an inner knowing that will never, ever lead you astray. Look at the moon in the night sky. It doesn't generate its own light. It simply and beautifully reflects the light of the sun. The moon's power isn't in its ability to create brilliance, but in its profound capacity to reflect it. It perfectly captures and mirrors the sun's light, illuminating the darkness without judgment or ego. This elegant celestial dance reveals one of the final hidden truths of attraction, the law of the moon's reflection. It is the understanding that your ability to reflect on and learn from your past, without being consumed by it, is the key to creating a brighter future in our lives. We often struggle with our past. We either try to bury it, hoping it will disappear, or we become paralyzed by it, allowing past failures, hurts, and mistakes to define us. We carry the weight of yesterday's shadows, which blocks our ability to receive and reflect the light of a new day. When we dwell on what went wrong, we are not learning from it. We are reliving it, and we are sending a powerful vibration of regret and pain into the universe. We become like a moon that is constantly facing away from the sun, stuck in the shadows of its own history, and we wonder why our future lacks illumination. We are confusing reflection with rumination. Reflection is a process of learning. Rumination is a cycle of pain. The liberating truth of the moon's reflection is that your past is not a prison. It is a profound and valuable teacher. Your experiences, both good and bad, are not stains on your character. They are the raw material from which you can create wisdom and strength. The key is to shift from a place of self-judgment to a place of compassionate observation. This practice involves reflecting on your past actions and experiences, not to blame yourself, but to understand the lessons they held. What did that challenging relationship teach you about your boundaries? What did that failed project teach you about your strengths and weaknesses? By asking these questions with a spirit of curiosity, you begin to transform your past from a source of pain into a source of power. The profound benefit of embracing this law is that it frees you from the burden of shame and regret. When you learn to reflect on your past without judgment, you are able to take its light, its lessons, its wisdom, and use it to illuminate your path forward. You realize that your story, with all its twists and turns, is not a liability, but your greatest asset. It is what makes you unique, resilient, and deeply empathetic. By mastering the art of the moon's reflection, you stop being defined by your history and start being guided by its wisdom. You become a person who radiates not just a simple light, but a rich, nuanced light, one that has been beautifully shaped by a life fully lived. You discover that your past was never meant to hold you back, but to provide the light you need to create a magnificent and luminous future. We have now journeyed through 18 hidden laws, each one a thread woven into the magnificent tapestry of your life. We began by understanding that your inner world is the fertile soil where your desires take root, and that your unseen roots, your deepest beliefs, are what truly dictate your growth. We learned that your emotional state is a powerful vibration, a gentle current that carries you toward your destiny when you release resistance. You discovered that your external world is a mirroring lake, perfectly reflecting the landscape of your internal reality, and that true growth, much like a patient gardener, requires consistent care, not frantic striving. Our journey continued as we saw how your unique path unfurls at its own perfect pace, and that the greatest act of creation is often in the emptiness of the cup, making space for the new. You were reminded that a clear magnetic north, a defined purpose, is the most powerful attractor, and that a heart filled with the sun's embrace is a light that draws others toward you. We honored the weaving web of interconnectedness, understanding that no good deed is ever wasted, and found power in the winter's silence, a necessary time of rest and preparation. You now know that your personal riverbed's shape, your boundaries and self-worth, determines the quality of what flows into your life, and that the giver's harvest is the joyful paradox of true abundance. We looked to the horizon's beckoning to be inspired by a compelling vision for your future, and found an unshakable mountain's foundation in the bedrock of your integrity. Finally, we learned to trust our own unwavering compass, our intuition as the ultimate guide, and to use the moon's reflection to learn from our past without being defined by it. These are not just 18 separate principles. They are 18 movements in a grand symphony, each one playing a crucial part. The true law of attraction is not a singular act, but a harmonious alignment of your inner and outer worlds. It is the realization that you are not a passive observer, waiting for things to happen, but a conscious composer of your own reality. The journey is about shifting from a place of getting to a place of being patient, being kind, being authentic, and being purposeful. By living in alignment with these hidden laws, you are no longer just attracting a few good things. You are creating a life that is a constant, flowing masterpiece, a symphony of success that is uniquely and beautifully yours. This concludes the main content of our journey. The final notes of our melody are now softly fading out. Take a deep, gentle breath and let these truths settle within you, not as new rules to follow, but as wisdom you have simply remembered. The path ahead is not about perfection, but about presence. It is about a quiet, persistent trust in your own unfolding. There will be days when the soil feels barren, days when the compass seems to spin. But remember that even in those moments, the universe is not punishing you. It is simply inviting you to tend to your inner world once more. These laws are an invitation to a kinder, more compassionate relationship with yourself. They are a promise that you are powerful beyond measure, not because you can bend the world to your will, but because you can align your will with the beautiful, creative, and abundant nature of the world itself. You are the gardener, the captain, and the composer of your own life. May your journey be filled with peace, your heart with hope, and your soul with the sweet, certain knowledge that you are a magnificent and magnetic force, capable of attracting a life more beautiful than you could ever imagine.